The world of urban ministry is changing fast. Nonprofits, churches, and individuals dedicated to Christian hospitality and building community on the margins of society are facing growing challenges. Economic shifts, rising homelessness, food insecurity, immigration waves, and cultural tensions are all making ministry work harder than ever. One practitioner summed it up best. We're living in a dystopia here, standing on a tiny island trying to hold back the flood. In 2023, our team of researchers, each with firsthand experience in urban ministry, set out to explore a big question. How do urban ministry leaders learn, grow, and stay resilient in the face of such overwhelming realities? We talked to 12 experienced ministry practitioners and 4 educators to uncover what kinds of learning and training have been most impactful. What we found was revealing. Ministry leaders are shaped not just by formal education, but by their lived experience, relationships, and personal spiritual practices. And through this research, we ourselves experienced transformation, learning from the wisdom of those we interviewed. Let's talk about the struggles first. Long-term urban ministry is not easy. Practitioners face constant grief, loss, and exposure to suffering, whether witnessing it firsthand or hearing heartbreaking stories. They juggle ethical dilemmas, exhausting relationships, and the frustration of systemic injustice. Many feel overwhelmed by conflict within their organizations. One leader admitted, "I don't expect to experience a lot of well-being." Yet despite these challenges, they continue. What keeps them going? What helps them stay rooted? Through our conversations, we discovered 5 key themes that sustain urban ministry workers over time. We call these the 5 foundations of formation. The first is practices. Many leaders have developed spiritual and personal disciplines to keep them grounded. These include prayer, silence, solitude, retreats, Sabbath, taking the Lord's Supper, self-reflections, and being part of regular sacred community gatherings. These practices help create a rhythm between outward service and inward renewal, ensuring that these practices are meaningfully integrated into work routines and community life helps workers sustain over time. The second foundation is posture. Ministry leaders emphasized the importance of approaching their work with humility, openness, and mutuality, not a hero or a savior mentality. They see ministry as a two-way street, learning from those they serve as much as they give. And this was key. It is a community-based approach that was emphasized, and it is distinct from a more professionalized service that highlights the worker's specialization over the power of mutuality. The third is presence. Relationships matter. Urban ministry workers stay resilient through supportive mentors, colleagues, friends, and the communities they serve. Ministry is not a solo journey. It thrives in connection with others. Such connection doesn't have to be in formal settings. In fact, they are meaningfully experienced in the in-between moments, an incidental occasion. The fourth is purpose. A strong sense of calling and mission keeps leaders moving forward. They believe in the work they do and can't imagine doing anything else, even when the rewards are not always visible. The greater the alignment they have to the mission, the more effective and steadfast they become. The last foundation of formation is encounters. Some of the most powerful learning moments happen unexpectedly through life events, ministry experiences, and divine encounters. Many leaders define these as moments where they felt God's presence and saw their calling reaffirmed. Now, what was the most helpful in the formation of urban ministry workers? Formal education played a role for many ministry leaders, but only when it was practical and relevant. The most valuable training experience included learning while actively engaged in ministry, hands-on experiences like internships or practicums, self-directed learning, reading, attending specific trainings on topics like addiction, finances, debt, or conflict resolution. the ability to translate academic learning into everyday ministry life. Most leaders found that their greatest growth happened outside of the classroom through real-life ministry, relationships, and lived experience in community. We also spoke to 4 educators involved in training urban ministry practitioners. They highlighted 2 major insights. The first was to treat theological education as a foundation. A strong theological framework helps ministry leaders understand their calling and find their place within a larger vision. It reassures them that they are not a voice crying in the wilderness, but part of a broader movement and narrative. Theological engagement provides a transcendent perspective on the immediacy and acute matters that occur regularly on the front lines. The second was the power of learning in community. Education is most effective when done together. Learning in a group setting where expectations are shared and discussed creates a deeper understanding of long-term impact. However, we also found differences. Some educators worked in institutions that fully supported urban ministry training, while others struggled with the lack of funding and institutional buy-in. Some programs were short-lived due to leadership and budget changes. Despite this, all educators agree urban ministry training needs to be practical, community-based, and deeply rooted in real-life experiences. So some final thoughts. What sustains urban ministry? At its core, urban ministry is about relationships. And I know that sounds cliche and overused, but central nonetheless. It's about being present in community, sharing in struggles, and growing together. The best training isn't just about gaining knowledge, it's about experiencing wisdom through lived encounters. One practitioner put it this way: education gives knowledge, experience gives wisdom, and wisdom is what leads to transformation. So to all nonprofits and church leaders engaged in urban ministry, take heart. The work is hard, but you are not alone. Lean into practices that sustain you, relationships that strengthen you, and encounters that shape you. Your presence in the community makes a difference, more than you may ever know. We made this video to bring to light what matters most to urban workers when it comes to their education and their professional development. We as a team of researchers and educators are working to discover and form effective and relevant ways of learning so that our work in the field can be fruitful, fulfilling, and can stand the test of time. We hope these findings can inspire further discussions on urban ministry education and be used as a point of discussion in your communities.